Rescue Ladders and Human Barricades, number 3, the third Bombardment, released back in 1986, TRC Twisted Red Cross number 10. Yes, my friends, we have finally made it to the third and the final installment in the old school hardcore Philippine punk rock series, Rescue Ladders and Human Barricades, released on the original Twisted Red Cross by the one and only Tommy Tachenko, the genius himself. I reviewed Rescue Ladders and Human Barricade 1985, the first one, TRC-01, where we got introduced to the urban bandits, to the woods, betrayed, dead beat, private stocks, ex-militants, public scandal, and so forth. I've reviewed Fatal Response, which is Rescue Ladders and Human Barricade number 2, 86, where we got to see dead ends, George Imbecile idiots, some more woods, urban bandits, and the mysterious Zoot Suit who not too many people know about, and it ended with dead ends. And now we are to Rescue Letters in Human Barricade number 3, the third Bombardment! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And just like the previous two where we got to hear some raw takes and raw demos of some fucking awesome bands, this time we get to hear some raw takes and some raw shit from some new bands that are about to come out with some stuff. And also, we get to say hi to Private Stock. We get to say hi to Betrayed. Fuck yeah. We got some old friends who are back in the game. Let's say hi to them, shall we? The album starts off with the Philippine Violators, who don't release an album until 1987 at large. And let me say, I've got it on cassette, I've got it on vinyl, I've got it digitally. At Large is fucking killer. It is a straight, raw, down-to-earth album, a reflection of the times, a reflection of what it's like to grow up during the 80s and the 70s in the Philippines as a teen, and the hardships of just what life throws at you. It really is. The Philippine Violators are great at expressing themselves and just what they go through, school problems, life problems, family problems. My favorite songs, they have two songs on this. They have Freedom and Who Needs Society. Obviously, my favorite one is Who Needs Society because it's got a killer chorus. Who the fuck needs society? Maybe you, but not me. Yeah, as I said in my Philippine Violators at Large review, that's poster friendly right there. Okay, so what you do to all of you artists out there, get the Philippine Violators at Large record, right? And then keep the record itself but extend it, and then below it just put Who the fuck needs society? Maybe you but not me. That is a poster to hang up on your wall. I just love it. It's so killer, it's so perfect, it's so to the point. The Philippine Violators violate. I mean, that's all there is to it. But the Phil Vios, they start Rescue Ladders 3, and they started good. Raw takes, like I said, this is demo stuff. This isn't, I mean, it's obviously in the studio, but this is a taste of what you're about to get into. And then after the Who the Fuck Needs Society happens, we go back to Private Stock. Only, hey, new songs. Oh yeah! Nah, you might want to, wait. Track number 4, that's Hype School. Wait, didn't they just release an album called Hype School? Let me look at that album. Um, Pulling out the cassette tape here. Let's see, have more fun, rock and roll machine, Spider's Web is what I want. Wait, the album's called Hype School, isn't it? Where's the song at? Let me take one more look at this cassette tape, shall we? Have more fun, rock and roll machine, Spider's Web, it's what I want. What a girl. You've said before, as you've said before, I revolt, chaos of the bandits, girls in my school, class villain, future generation. What's up with that? It's called Hype School, but the song's not on there! Anarka, there's something strange going on. Nah. In the interview I had with Mel, it was explained. So, when the album was in the process of being made, they just tossed the name Hype School out there because it sounded badass. I mean, it's Hype School. Sounds classic. Sounds rock and roll. That's what Private Stock is. They're rock and roll, man. They're 50s doo-wop, 50s punk. Just 50s punk. That's the best way to describe Private Stock, 50s punk. But after the album Hype School was made, they're like, why don't we have a song called that? Hype School, that is the best rock and roll idea you can do. So Mel wrote Hype School, the song, and since Hype School, the cassette tape had already been created, and there's no DLC in the 80s. They put it on Rescue Ladder 3, and history was made. But before that, we hear Strange Boy in the Secret Service, which is another one that was written by Fred Dater, because Fred's a fucking awesome guy. I'm good friends with him. Strange Boy in the Secret Service. It's got a really cool, spooky government type of theme to it. I mean, it states it in the song title there, which kind of reminds me a little bit of Agent Orange, a little bit. As they got Secret Agent Man. It's kind of got that little vibe to it, but Private Stock does it with charm. It's kind of got a little surf vibe to it a little bit. It's fucking awesome. It's a good song. It's a good rock and roll song. Philippine Violators are hardcore. Then right after Phil Violet, you calm down with some Private Stock, with some classic 50s rock fuse with punk. Hype's cool. And then we go to Nice Little Girl by Collision. I don't really know much about that band, but that's a pretty good hardcore punk song. Check it out. After Collision, we get Intoxicated on Violence. IOV. They are legends. 1987 Philippines. Another destructive century. I'm going to review it at some point. I got the beautiful blood red vinyl record. Oh my god, you guys. It's such a fucking good album. My song's good. But my favorite song is obviously Yankees, because we're going to get political for a moment. This is Rescue Letters and Human Barricades. Of course we're going to get political on this. We need to. It's punk rock. It's about expressing yourself. This is 1986. EDSA. Marcos is gone. Party, motherfuckers. But wait. Have you ever wondered to yourself, how the hell did Marcos manage to pull it off in the first place? How did he manage to get enough support, enough backup, to declare martial law, to be a dictator for over 2 decades, 21 straight years? How did he manage that? He must have had some support beyond his own government, because he had an opposition. Could it be that the United States government backed him and supported him, and after EDSA 86 took place, he was... Could it be? Could it be? Could it be that Ferdinand Marcos was airlifted from Malacanang Palace by U.S. helicopters and exiled to Honolulu, Hawaii, where he and Imelda lived till 89 when Marcos died? Could it be that? Could it be that my country unfortunately helped fund and back a ruthless dictator? Could that be the truth? Yes! Unfortunately, fuck you, Reagan. And yeah, that's just that's all. That's really sad. But, when I first learned that, I felt a bit of depression in my heart and in my soul, knowing that my country is responsible for a lot of the tyrannical regimes throughout the world. North Korea, Saudi Arabia, we are practically boyfriend and girlfriend with Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump loves Saudi Arabia. They have the United States by the balls, and they are jerking us off. It is that bad. A lot of Filipinos look to the United States as this heaven, this paradise on earth, which is totally not. And a lot of people around the world, I mean, okay, I understand the U.S. has opportunity that the Philippines and other countries don't have, but, and the people of the U.S. are lovely. They're good people here. It's just, the people that run this country are just rotten. And honestly, they've kind of been that way forever. Since the country started. I mean, our first president, George Washington, owned slaves, didn't believe in equality. Women didn't get rights until the 1920s. Non-whites didn't get any civil rights until the 60s. This country's always been fucked up. It's never been the true land of the free, home of the brave. It's just always been what make America great again. It's always been put the white man first, put the American first. We have all this money and these resources. Let's go screw over other countries. Let's go take them over. Let's go exploit their land and take over their resources. And let's do let's go all over the world and put more money in Uncle Sam's pockets. And I love how IOV in 47 fast, hardcore, furious seconds says it. And they say it in such a ruthless way. I love it. Intoxication of Violence, IOV, if you hear me talking about you, keep on rocking. I wish they would have made more records, but unfortunately, just another destructive century is all they made. They're featured on some other various artist compilations, such as all the rest of these bands, but I really wish IOV would have made more, because they're a damn good hardcore punk band that I will eventually review, because IOV's awesome. You know, they're late 80s, but better late than never, you know. And they're so badass that Tommy Tanchenko saw them and he's like, I gotta put these guys on. They've got something to say. Fucking Yankees came to town, but it ain't over. I can't sing like ILV. But yeah, fucking Yankees came to town. Robert is blind and empty. Yeah, fucking Uncle Sam, that's all he does. Third world countries, you know, promise you a lot, then take it all. That's what Uncle Sam does. Uncle Scam, as Jello Biafra says. But next up, we got a fucking awesome announcement. Back in the year of 1984, a bunch of good friends, four in particular, Poteet, Danny, I think Manny actually, Fair, and Tommy Tanchenko, they got together and formed a band called Chaos, or Third World Chaos, and in 1984 they released a badass 12-inch record called New Move for Error, my friends. And it is a fucking awesome record. And it's very special. It's very special in general because New Move for Error by Third World Chaos is the first and only punk rock record from the Philippines to be pressed, created, born, produced in the Philippines. My friends, unlike the Urban Bandits, unlike Silvio, unlike Georgia Missile Idiots, unlike ILV, because, you know, they've all got their vinyl records now because of foreign labels pitching in to help out and make that shit. Third World Chaos, New Move for Error, they got their shit made in the Philippines. Tower Records / Dyna Records. Yeah, that's why that first record is so special. New Move for Error 1984. It was made at home, my friends. And that's really the last time you get to. That's the. I'm gonna cry. Like IOV, and you know, their one record, Third World Chaos only released one record. It saddens me, all these good bands only released one. It's like, come on, guys, release more than that. Thank you, Philippine Violators, for making a whole discography. Private Stock, I love you so much, but make more. Yeah, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. There's just so many good bands out there that only make one good record. But on Rescue Ladders 3, we finally get to hear more of Third World Chaos, or for short, Chaos. Culture Shock, Tools and Fuels. Good 77 punk with the same aggressive undertone that you hear in New Move for Error. A little more amped up and aggressive now because it's 2 years later and they've got more to talk about, so hell yes. Next up, we have Violent Dispersal and Nuclear by RDA, who also released one album called Brave United and Trust. I don't have it. I've heard it. It's amazing. I've heard a lot of people say that RDA is like Minor Threat in the Philippines. I kind of see that. They kind of do have that Ian MacKaye sort of raw edge to them. I mean, they're not, from what I can tell, they're not straight edge, and they're not talking about breaking bottles over the heads of alcoholics, and they might be seeing red because they're pretty hardcore, but RDA is pretty badass, and I hope I can find the Brave United and Trust one day. Next after RDA, we have Deceased, playing some hardcore punk fused with some reggae, with their song Abandoned Youth. Really good song, speaks to a generation, which, Deceased, they released, actually, Twisted Red Cross number 16, Deceased, Never Rest in Peace. It is the second to last original 80s Twisted Red Cross release. I do not own it. I wish I did. I hope I will someday. Deceased have a. They still play today, actually. I'm friends with a couple of the members of Deceased, Ray Decay and June Bandit. Hell yeah, awesome people. I am soon to own Reborn, which is their 1995 or 1996, either or. That is their 90s album, which Deceased have made a bunch of albums throughout time, and they're still playing to this day. Thank God for that, because Deceased is awesome. Never Rest in Peace has a zombie punk rock scene on it. There's punk rockers, like punk rock zombies coming out of the graveyard, and, you know, Never Rest in Peace. Deceased, the vocals, they're more of like a hardcore punk fused with a bit of horror punk, and they've got some reggae going on there, so they've got a bit of a different style themselves. I've never really heard a band that to an extent sounds like horror punk. Not like the Misfits. No, this is a more raw, more this abrasive no, just monstrous, I should say, hardcore versus what the Misfits are. So don't compare them to the Misfits. Now these guys are a bit more raw take. which is good, especially with their reggae. They fuse it in there perfectly, almost better than Bad Brains. Then after Deceased, we have, obviously, Betrayed. Why not? They were on the first. Why not be on the last? This album ends with Betrayed, I Ain't Gonna Fight For You, and Never Again. I've already talked about those two songs, but I love Betrayed. Boyet Miguel, Boyet Miguels, and Buddy Trinidad, the vocalist. Boyet is the guitarist of Betrayed. Ain't Gonna Fight For You. Ain't gonna fight for you, ain't gonna fight for Marcos, ain't gonna fight for any of that shit. Gonna fight for me, gonna do it my own way. You're not gonna tell me what to do, motherfucker. You think you're gonna run my life? No, ain't gonna fight for you. That's not the lyrics of the song, but that's summarizing it. And then Never Again, the final song by Betrayed. Betrayed's awesome because, similar to Deceased, I mean, Betrayed doesn't have the horror punk, but Betrayed does some roots reggae in there. That's actually a song by Betrayed. They've got some reggae fused with their stuff, and they go 77 a little bit, but they also go hardcore. And I like Buddy's vocals. Sounds pretty soothing. Betrayed's kind of like a breath of fire, but at the same time, it's cool rock. And also their name is Betrayed. What more could you ask for? But, yeah. From Philippine Violators opening this album with Freedom down to Never Again by Betrayed, to describe Rescue Ladder 3, Third Bombardment, it's not very politically charged. Fatal Response is the politically charged album. I mean, yes, there are political songs on this. Obviously, Yankees by Intoxication of Violence is the most politically charged song on the album. And then obviously Nuclear by RDA, Ain't Gonna Fight For You hits it up. But it's not like Fascinating World of Garbage, or not, Giant Idiots, The Flag on, Fatal Response. Fatal Response is the most politically charged Rescue Ladders. The first Rescue Ladders, as I said before when I reviewed it, it's more of an introduction to Philippine punk rock with the Urban Bandits and Woods and all them private stocks on there. It's the first one's an introduction to Philippine punk rock music. And then the second one is just an angry political album. The second Rescue Ladders is politically charged, socially charged, spiritually charged, because remember I said that Woods have Patay Buhay, which is a reference to Krishna, meaning life after death. That's what Fatal Response is. With the Zoot Suit, they got a little bit of relaxation there. And I'd say that number 3, Rescue 3, is just kind of combining 1 and 2 together. It's a little bit of everything. You got a balance of hardcore punk, this furious streetcore reflection of life with the Philippine Violators. You got some cool 50s rock and roll fused with punk with private stock. You got Collision on there. You got IOV. You got some hardcore politically charged notes with them. You got a Culture Shock by Chaos and Tools by Chaos, the first Philippine punk rock band, so they've stepped back up there with some rather politically charged stuff, more socially charged, just taking a punch at society, and Tools, Culture Shock. RDA, as I said, they're just screaming in your face about nuclear destruction. Deceased, like I said, it's got a little bit of reggae on there, but it's just kind of like a abandoned youth. And then Betrayed is hardcore punk. So you got a good, see what I'm trying to say? You got a good fusion of a little bit of a handful of different sounds. You got a handful of different sounds from a handful of different bands, and it's just a good combination of Rescue 1 and Rescue 2. It's really the best way to describe Rescue 3 is take 1 and 2 and put it together, and this is what you get. You get Rescue Ladders, the Human Barricade, number 3, the Third Bombardment. It's the third hit, it's the final hit, it's the fucking obliteration hit, and it's the best way that Tommy Tamchenko could have ended his 80s Rescue Ladders and Human Barricade series. I don't really think, I'm trying to think right now of any other band from the 80s that could have fit on here. I mean, yeah, Urban Bandits are not on this, as you can plainly see here, but Urban Bandits are on Rescue 1 and 2, so he's giving other bands a chance to shine. Phil Vio, He's given Collision a chance, some IOV. His own band, Third World Chaos, or Chaos is on here, RDA, Deceased. So, pretty much the only two bands on this cassette tape that you've heard on the previous two are Private Stock and Betrayed. Everything else is either brand new, never heard before, or it's, Chaos and Betrayed. You've heard them before, it's just a revamp, some new material that you haven't heard before. So, this is a fresh, new third bombardment of Philippine punk rock music that's just going to obliterate your speakers. It's going to obliterate your mind. Rock the boat, baby. That's what this is. And I wish I owned it physically. I own Fatal Response physically as a vinyl record, but hopefully one day I'll get lucky and I'll stumble upon Rescue Ladders 3. But anyway, guys, I'm Anarka Akaza. If you enjoyed this review video, please, or if you didn't enjoy it, go listen to Rescue Ladders and even Barricades 1, 2, and 3. You can find them online on YouTube. I'll leave a link to them in the description below. If you go to the Philippines, maybe try to find them there. I mean, they're not easy to find. They're really not. I mean, Fatal Response is the vinyl. You can go to Middle Finger Records in Recto, Manila. I was there last year, and they had about 40 of them on vinyl, like 1,500 pesos, 30 bucks. So you can easily find that one. Mutilated Noise, run by Noah Punctia. There's a couple other stores that probably sell it. And occasionally you can find it for like $25 on Discogs, Fatal Response. But Rescue 1 and Rescue 3, you might as well just wish upon a shooting star, because those are kind of hard to find. But anyway, guys, I'm Anarka Akaza and Tommy Tanchenko. If you watch this review, which I highly doubt you will, I love you. You are such an awesome person. Man, you are... How do I put it? Tommy's a fucking genius. He is the one that stirred the pot. He's the one that started all of this. So, I mean, Tommy's just a fucking badass. He's a punk rock genius. I'm Anarka Akaza. That's Vidania.